Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. But before we jump on in, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel yesterday. There was a ton of you that were apparently not subscribed, and there still is a ton. Over 50% of you are not subscribed to the channel. I'm telling you guys, if you do find anything around this video interesting, maybe you learned something, or maybe you just enjoy the content, definitely consider subscribing by the end of this video and also turning notifications on to never miss a future update, as I'm uploading constantly and making sure to do a ton of research around this market, making sure that you guys stay updated on everything happening 24/7. So definitely, stay tuned to the end of this video, and if you guys do learn something, or whatever the case may be, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. And also for the XRP army out there, definitely hit that like button and comment down below, hashtag XRP army. I'd love to hear from all of you and see how many of you are out there. So with all of that in mind, we did see the jobs report today. We've seen a ton of updates around the markets, and we started to see a little bit of green throughout the market on the 24-hour span. For an example, we do see some green, not a ton of it. Most of the market is still pretty bearish, I would argue. On the 7-day span, things look a little bit different. We are starting to see some green. I am in a few short futures positions, which I did share in the Discord for free. We were looking pretty good this morning before the jobs report. I think that we were in like $1,000 plus profit in like less than an hour. It was insane. And then all of a sudden the jobs report came and it ruined all of the positions, but we are still in them. We are definitely looking at a few things around this market and what's happening. I think that right now all eyes are on the Fed and what they're going to do next. I know that the next FOMC meeting is on the 31st and the 1st of February. So we are definitely watching closely for the 31st of this month and the 1st of February. I will definitely keep you guys updated once we get closer to those dates on what's going to happen. But yeah, right now all eyes are on the Fed. But today I really want to talk to you guys about the nightmare crypto scenario. So as we see a lot of people hating on XRP, and we start to see a lot more people say, oh, why should we even focus on XRP? I'll tell you exactly why we should focus on XRP. More so specifically, we should focus on this case because, if Ripple does lose this SEC case, I don't think that it's a potential nightmare scenario. No, I think that this will become a nightmare scenario where Gensler does target Ethereum. Right? We've discussed this many times in the past. In fact, we even seen the SEC be very quick to jump on it once we've seen Ethereum move to proof of stake. They said, this was a big issue. This was a potential securities problem. And we do see down here, nightmare crypto scenario, scary stuff. He explains or believes to be a nightmare scenario for the whole crypto space should Ripple Giant lose its case to the SEC, spearheaded by Chairman Gary Gensler. This scenario assumes that Ripple loses the lawsuit, first of all. Then, inspired by the victory, Gensler would probably begin attacking Ethereum via court because of its Ethereum sales. This would cripple two best technologies in crypto, as the journalists refer to them. The majority of cryptocurrencies in the market, he added, is not backed by anything. As for Bitcoin, Gasparino believes it is to be built on outdated technology, which I completely agree. Ripple and Ethereum are real. Scary stuff. And yeah, I do think that this could happen. I do think that, listen, we could sit around and discuss these scenarios of, what could happen. But in my opinion, if we do see Ripple lose, it's game over. It's not just like, oh, yeah, Ripple lost, goodbye XRP, XRP's garbage, blah, 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 this, that. No, it's, okay, Ripple lost against the SEC, now they're going to go after Ethereum. It's clear, like, the Ethereum proof is there. They held an ICO very similar to what Ripple did with XRP, which Ripple technically didn't hold an ICO. They were just selling XRP on the open market to on-demand liquidity customers, in which they were also selling. And, it just, that's exactly the mechanism behind the truth. When we look at things happening between Ripple and Ethereum, there is some similarities, but it's not 100%. Ethereum 100% though held an ICO, which in the SEC's terms would mean that it is a security, or was at some point in time a security. We know Ethereum is not finished in terms of development. They are still upgrading it. So technically speaking, Ethereum is still a security, but this is why we need Ripple to win. I mean, like, Ethereum would cause a cascading factor around this market. I mean, like when we look at Ethereum, yes, it holds right now currently $153 billion worth of market cap. At one point in time, it did hold $500 billion in market cap. And we know that Ethereum, when you look at the ERC20 tokens, there is a ton of them. When we actually click Ethereum, you could do this for yourself as well. When you go to the Ethereum ecosystem on CoinMarketCap, you could see the market capitalization of a lot of these tokens. It's $165.9 billion, and some of these would domino effect into other major tokens. And there's a lot more ERC20 tokens here as well that are not labeled. I'm pretty sure Link is also one of them, and we know Chainlink right now, when we look at the market capitalization of that, it's like about 2.8 billion. There's a few other ones as well. So when we really kind of look at Ethereum, yeah, this could be a big deal if Ripple loses. Now, we do see over here as well, just in European central bank self-custody Bitcoin wallets need to be regulated. Good luck with that. Now, yeah, this is from a Bitcoin MEXC account. I want you guys to realize that when we really kind of look at what these central banks do want, they want to take control of crypto. They want full control of crypto and crypto markets. I think it's very similar to what we've seen with the French central bank as well. Notice that they're all central banks, right? So the central bank governor pushes for crypto licensing ahead of EU laws. This was with MEXC. This was 13 hours ago, by the way. And we do see all the disorder in 2022 feeds a simple belief. It is desirable for France to move to an obligatory licensing of DASP as soon as possible, rather than just registration. So they want to really kind of streamline regulations, and we do see out of the 60 AMF registered crypto firms, none are currently licensed as a DASP. And yeah, I do think that this is going to be very interesting. The biggest problem that I do see with this is the fact that they are pushing and trying to streamline regulations, which technically, yeah, does it seem like a good thing? Sure. But also with this, what kind of regulations are we going to get? We could have regulations that stifle this entire industry, slow this industry down, and possibly even cut retail out of the picture entirely. That's why these central banks are pushing for these regulations. The central banks want to control this market. In yesterday's video, I said, you know, if we have regulations that ultimately cut out retail just so that the major banking clients and financial giants can only utilize this technology, what are we even here for? What are we even here for? This is why we 100% need to make sure that we stay on par with the right types of regulatory frameworks, and we need to support them. You know, I always bring up the idea on like, okay, well, why did they even go after XRP initially on? Well, from Anderson over here, he posted this little piece of this article that I actually think I talked about in the past. It was like the cost basis breakdown of like cross-border payments. But we do see, you know, here's the incentives. When you remove the same friction that provides mega banks with $200 billion in revenue, you'll be up for a fight in the land where the dollar is king. And we do see the cost of doing business. It's no wonder that banks have tried their best to keep competition out and keep innovation to a minimum. Cross-border payments are an extremely lucrative space, with B2B cross-border payments bringing more than $240 billion in revenue on $135 trillion in payments. And we know that this is actually now $150 trillion, expected to grow a massive amount in just the next 4 years alone, meaning a lot more revenue for those big banking giants. And we do see, according to McKinsey and Company, B2B payments represent 80% of all cross-border payment revenue, of which banks own a 90% share. Up until now, there has been little innovation in this space because there has been little need for banks to innovate. Remember, the banks don't want to innovate. Why would they want to, like, think about it like this, right? So you own, we'll just say, a business that's bringing in $1 trillion per year in revenue. I'm just saying $1 trillion because it's very easy. And then all of a sudden, this other company comes up and says, okay, well, we could do what they're doing a lot more efficient and drop the amount of money that is needed to make sure that these run efficiently and smoothly. And it's cutting out a piece of revenue from your company that's making $1 trillion per year, and you're losing 50%, 75%. Even if it was 25%, it would be a big damage in your company's revenue. So why wouldn't you try to stop that company from rising? Why wouldn't you try to stop that company from succeeding? That's exactly what's happening here. But the biggest problem here is that these aren't companies. These are big banks. These are mega banks that Ripple is targeting. So why wouldn't Ripple be targeted? This is why we need to rise up and realize the bigger picture. You have a ton of people around this space that hate on Ripple, that hate on XRP. Just recently in my video, actually, I seen a couple of people commenting saying like XRP is going to zero, so why would you even want to hold this, token? It's complete garbage. Ripple's a scam company. This is a scam. Blah blah blah. Like, I really question on like what these people get out of that. I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't like XRP. Like, listen, I'm not making videos here to make sure that you guys love XRP and you guys buy XRP. No, I really don't care if you guys invest in XRP or not. In fact, I don't even care if you like Ripple as a company or not. The reason why I make these videos and the reason why I'm talking about these things is that, this isn't about just XRP. This is about this entire industry. This is about, innovation on the frontier of retail. We are seeing a major shift happening around technology and finance and fintech, and we won't see it because these banks are extremely greedy, and if they try to fight back and if they succeed in their fight against Ripple, then guess what? You can kiss this entire industry goodbye, because that gives not only the SEC the upper hand, but it also gives the SEC clear freedom to go after Ethereum, to go after, any token in this space. You got to remember that there's a lot of these tokens that are in the top 100 that are just complete garbage. They could easily go after Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. And you might be questioning like, okay, who cares about that? It's still billions of dollars that will get wiped out. It's still the idea that, we could see exchanges being targeted, because if XRP is technically a security and it is deemed 100% a security by the SEC, then it opens the doors for the SEC to go after Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, any of these exchanges. And I want you all to realize, like, as everybody was sitting around saying, okay, yeah, let's FUD on Binance. Let's FUD on Binance and say like Binance is backed by nothing, which, by the way, their exchange data is fully transparent. You can see everything that they hold in their financial reserves, worth $47.7 billion. But everyone was sitting around, hoping that Binance falls just so that they could, see cheaper prices on Bitcoin and other assets. I want you guys to realize that this is an exchange that has the most trading volume, $7.9 billion worth of trading volume. If Binance fell, guess what? It would set this entire industry back years. Very similar to Coinbase. And again, the SEC is trying to target exchanges like Coinbase, like Binance. But the issue here is that if they go after XRP or even Ethereum, right? If they win the fight against Ripple and they go after Ethereum, it's game over. It's game over. What they want to do is they want to kill this industry before it even thrives. You might argue, yeah, like crypto has already thrived. We hit $3 trillion in market cap. That is absolutely nothing. That is drops of water in a big, big bucket. We have a long way ahead of us. This market is just beginning. It's in its infancy. Wait until you see what happens in the next coming years if we get past this lawsuit. But this lawsuit is a big obstacle, because this lawsuit can change the trajectory of this entire industry, and it could put all the power into hands like BlackRock, which recently just added Bitcoin to their global allocation fund. This is providing more and more power to the big puppeteers that are controlling everything. BlackRock adding Bitcoin to their global allocation fund and BlackRock jumping into Bitcoin is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. This is a company that has $10 trillion assets under management. They could fully control Bitcoin right now if they wanted to. And we even do see down here from like Bond Crypt, we know what Bitcoin has been used for. We can't expect anything less from these establishments, hoping this current financial system crumbles down ASAP and, effing cut their constant manipulation of Bitcoin. Bit tired of all this shenanigans being let still to unfold. And yeah, I mean, like, even when you go over here to like the French central bank governor pushing for crypto licensing ahead of EU laws, and even the initial statement from Bitcoin magazine where the European Central Bank wants to go after self-custody Bitcoin wallets and how they need to be regulated, it's all for control. They want to control Bitcoin. They want to manipulate this entire market like they've manipulated the stock market for years and years and years. And if you don't believe that they manipulated the stock market, I highly suggest to look into what the Fed does and where the funds go, because it's all like everything around you. The jobs report today was all complete nonsense. These projections and these numbers that they throw out, it's all made up nonsense. So when we really kind of look at things on what's tied to these elites, these higher ups, we need to keep them out of this market. We need to keep them from controlling things. This is why we need to fight back against their streamlined regulations, which they brought up around, the FTX situation, just to get control over this market and your funds. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.